In today's video, we're going to talk about high-speed number service. We're going to kind of compare how high-speed number service with the YetiText compares to local phone numbers versus short codes. So that's kind of going to be the entirety of today's video. I want to get started by just kind of making sure that we kind of are on the same page when it comes to what terms we're using when it comes to local versus high-speed toll-free versus short codes. So local phone number is just basically a standard local phone number that you're very familiar with. It's a 10-digit phone number. This is our example of ours. It's 1-858-800-4552. So the send rate of a local phone number ranges from 10 to 75 messages per minute, depending on your 10DLC registration. We've covered 10DLC in other videos, but just to summarize, 10DLC basically allows AT&T, T-Mobile, and then Verizon has their own version of this um, to basically have you register your business with them, and then they can, depending on your use case and your size of your business and the scope of how you're using SMS, they can qualify you to send at a rate of 10 or 40 or 75. So with YetiText, the cost of local phone numbers is that your first number comes with your account. So the first number is free, and then if you need additional phone numbers for, let's say you don't want to have a phone number for each member of your team, which is common, then it'd be $5 per month per additional phone numbers, and then 3 cents per SMS and 5 cents per MMS on our standard plan. With high-speed toll-free, basically you're taking a toll-free phone number and you are registering that. It's a different registration process than 10DLC, but you are registering that in order to unlock the high-speed aspect of toll-free. If you just get a standard toll-free phone number, you can't utilize the high-speed unless going through the registration process that we provide. Once you've gone through that registration process, we can start you at 600 messages per minute, and then based on your needs and the size and scope of your campaign, we can bump that up to 1,500 messages per minute, and we can go even higher than that. It's just a little more costly to unlock those higher rates, and so typically 600 to 1,500 is the most common kind of range for that sending rate. And then with high-speed toll-free, on our standard plan, it's an additional $50 a month to access that service, and then it's 3 cents per SMS, 5 cents per MMS on the standard plan. And then lastly, a short code is kind of an example of the short code here is 223344, and that is basically you're probably familiar with short codes at this time. With short codes, what a lot of people have been utilizing shortcodes in the past is using a shared shortcode. So basically, a number of businesses share access to this shortcode through a provider, and then that provider kind of allows you to access and send messages on that shortcode. That is going away. That no longer are shortcodes being provided to providers with the intent on using them as a shared shortcode, and that's mostly because carriers don't like to have the shared reputation on those shortcodes. They want to make sure that a business that is utilizing the shortcode is the only business utilizing that shortcode. So when it comes to that, the advantages of the shortcode for a long time has been the high speed of sending. As you can see here, the starting rate is 6,000 messages per minute. And that's all based on the approval of the carriers, of course. But that allows you to send a lot of messages very quickly, and that's the appeal for a long time of the shortcode. However, as a small business or medium-sized business, or even a large organization, the cost of owning and operating that shortcode is $1,500 a month, and then the approval process for that is close to 6 months. And during that whole time, you are going to be paying that $1,500 a month for the short code, even if you aren't approved yet for that short code. So roughly speaking, you're looking at about $9,000 in before you even have access to send a message on that short code. So when it comes to the messaging rates, so we're going to be looking on this chart at just local versus high throughput toll free. You kind of see how quickly you can scale up with high speed sending on YetiText. Roughly speaking, with a standard brand, a local phone number, you can send out 2,400 messages in a 60-minute period. So that's best for a small use case where you're not sending a ton of volume on a daily basis, but you still can deliver a decent amount of messages within an hour. With the high-speed toll-free, we're looking at a rate of 1,500. This is looking at the rate of 1,500 per minute, so on the upper end. but we also can send at the rate of 600 as the starting point. But still, you can deliver a high amount of messages over a short period of time. I just extended this chart out to 15 minutes, but obviously you can do that math based on the 600 or the $1,500 messages rate to see roughly how much you can send within an hour, and that being 36,000 for the 600 rate and close to 90,000 for the 60-minute rate on the 1,500 messages per minute. And then just a quick comparison of short codes versus high-speed toll-free. So again, you can kind of see roughly how that correlates. Obviously, you are getting a huge advantage with that short code. The one aspect being that cost of the short code, and we'll kind of go into that now here. With the cost comparison, I just want to kind of highlight some of basically what you're looking at roughly if you're wanting to budget out local phone numbers versus high-speed toll-free, if that's something you need to utilize, versus a short code. So as you can see, it's kind of a no-brainer when it comes to the comparison. A lot of the advantages you get with short code, just being that extra speed on top, just doesn't quite equate in most cases to wanting to spend $18,000 a year just to have that extra speed bump that you can get. Some organizations do have that capability to, and the budget for that, and they have those kind of needs. But for the most part, if you're going to be utilizing some high speed sending and you need to have some decent volume that you can utilize within an hour or 2 hour period, the high speed toll free is going to cover most of those needs, and it's a huge discount in comparison to the short code utilizing that with YetiText standard plan. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our team, and we will help you answer those. And hopefully, if there's any additional needs you need on the high-speed toll-free, our team will be able to answer those and get that for you. Thank you.